There's no room anymore for run-of-the-mill estate agents in the high street. There's no room anymore for just put it on Rightmove and wait for the phone to ring. Are you going to move your business to the next level, or are you going to keep it where it is now, which I think is at risk? Hi, Graham from Lock Consultancy here. I just want to give my opinion on where the market's going. The battle lines are being drawn, and I think it's becoming very clear how this is going to play out next year. You've got three types of estate agency. You've got pay up front model, which is the onlines. You've got the hybrid model, and you've got the traditional high street model. The lion's share of the market is still with high street estate agents. However, there is a risk coming. If you're a traditional estate agency trying to offer an upfront fee model or a hybrid fee model or a combination of both, or veering away from what you do best, I believe you're at risk. You're at risk because you're chasing your fees downwards. Your service levels reflect your fee, and it's unsustainable to offer an amazing service at a low fee, particularly when you're trading in one town or a small area. My recommendation to high street agents is not to fight that battle. It's actually to stick with the lion's share where the market is right now. But you can only do that if you're at the top of your game. So when it comes to the consumer, they have three choices. They can use the cheap pay up front or pay regardless model, which is out there, and there's a place for that. They could use a hybrid agent if they don't need the high street office and they trust that agent, they like that agent enough and they buy into them. And there's a place for that too, that's been proven. Purple Bricks and the likes of YouMove are leading the way in those two sectors. The third option, of course, is the traditional high street estate agency. But the consumer is now only going to go there if they're sure they're going to get an amazing experience and something different they're not going to get from the previous two mentioned options. So if you're an estate agent and you're on the high street, you've got to decide now. Are you going to move your business to the next level, or are you going to keep it where it is now, which I think is at risk? You've got to differentiate yourself. And I think this is a really exciting time for strong traditional high street estate agents. You've got the market share still, but the consumer is getting choice. But with the majority of people still choosing to use a high street traditional estate agent, that's where you can still win if you're an agent on the high street. But you can't do that unless you up your game. Only the very best agents, I think, are going to be able to survive next year. But I also think those that do survive are going to have a phenomenal year. I'm really excited about next year for traditional agencies. I also think there's a place for the hybrids and there's a place for the onlines. But traditional agents who are worried about it are the ones that are in trouble. The traditional agents that aren't bothered by it are not in trouble because they'll get out of it. Because they'll differentiate themselves. And that's what it's all about. If you're not already, you should be planning for next year. There's so many things you should be focusing on as a high street agent for 2019, including recruitment, including training, including technology, in terms of what the consumer wants. My views on prop tech is that there's a lot of prop tech out there. There's some great stuff and there's some rubbish stuff. My job is to sift through and find the best stuff and give that to my clients. But things like booking a viewing online or booking a valuation online, these are now becoming the norm. People are going to want to start doing that stuff. It doesn't detract from your offering as a traditional estate agency, it just enhances the usability of it for the consumer. You should be looking at lead generation methods, you should be looking at things like instant valuations, live chat. If you haven't already, try them, but do it in the right way. You should be doing more social media. You should be becoming the voice of your town by using videos on social media. It can be very powerful. And you've also got ancillary services such as conveyancing, and mortgages and utility switching. Other revenue streams that you should be maximising. There's other things like mystery shopping, interior design. Are you keeping your brand fresh? Is your website up to date? Is it mobile responsive? What are your reviews like once people do find you on mobile? In a recent study, there was a list of the top 10 things that people did on their mobile phone. And not once in the top 10 was mentioned actually using it as a telephone. So these mobile devices are actually really not a mobile telephone anymore. They're information portals for customers to find stuff out that they want to find out. Sales get harder. Are you looking at auctions? Compliance is a big issue at the moment. You've got to make sure your business is trading in a compliant manner. You don't want to be caught out by a nasty fine from anti-money laundering or a new piece of legislation in the lettings market. You might be looking to expand your business or contract it slightly. You might want to buy a portfolio of letting properties. You might want to sell one. You might want to open up a new office. You might have those ambitions to do that. And now's a great time to review all of these things and more. There's no room anymore for run-of-the-mill estate agents in the high street. There's no room anymore for just put it on Rightmove and wait for the phone to ring. The market's about to change. And I want to work with those agents that can see the change that's coming and want to embrace it and actually really take their business to the next level.